Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon, everybody around the world. Welcome back to the One Piece video featuring your boy, Gecko Moria. Get ready for a very, very spicy deck profile featuring OP07 here on the channel, in which this is going to be our first time, maybe, or second time actually putting out a video on Gecko Moria. Just because in OP06, this leader was pretty much all over the place. Gecko, Sakazuki, Katakuri, they were just all over the place. And I'm not a big fan of just putting out meta decks consistently. If you guys have seen my channel, obviously. I don't sit here and flood you guys with Saka matches. I don't sit here and flood you guys with Kata matches. That's not my thing. But in OP07 here, this guy kind of falls underneath the radar for a lot of people. I'm not entirely sure why. I think he's still very, very strong. And as you guys know, he has been cropping up at regional events, winning some regionals as of late. He's doing well. So I decided to dive into him, see what we can cook up here, and hopefully we can have a good time. I do very much enjoy this leader, and I do play him locally. He is a lot of fun. But he does have his weaknesses, you know, just like every other deck in the format. Now, what changes about this list compared to OP06? Not a whole lot outside the fact that in EB01 we've gained access to Brook, and we've also started using Isho, which makes sense in a lot of these matchups, especially into decks such as Bonnie and Enel, decks in which that you can rip cards out of your opponent's hand when they have nothing but drawing a lot because they're taking a lot of early game damages. Isho helps you do such things such as that, especially again in the Bonnie matchup. Being able to minus a 8-cost kid by 3 by attaching one Don to Isho is pretty major, because it only takes you a Helmeppo or a Hina, and then attacking with your leader to do the thing, to get this on board, to pop it, which is really, really nice. But in any case, we have won quite a bit of games as of late, not only for regional events, but flagships as well. Gecko Moria is doing really, really well right now in the current metagame. There are some matchups in which I struggle to come out on top, and I don't know if it's a me thing. It might just be a me thing. I could just not be great into certain matchups. I have trouble playing against Bonnie with Gecko Moria. So me personally, maybe there's something I'm doing wrong, but I feel like Bonnie matchup into a Gecko Moria deck, you know, a list such as this, give or take, is very counterintuitive sometimes. It just feels very lackluster. Whereas if I'm playing Rob Lucci, this matchup feels so much easier for me opposed to playing Gecko Moria. And I think it's because there are times where you minus a character on Bonnie's field, right? Doesn't matter what it is. And then you want to attack to do your ability to play like an Absalon to pop it. Well, if you do that, she's going to rest, you know, your Gecko Moria, she's going to rest anything else that's on your board. So it feels a little bit rough sometimes, whereas you have to attack to get the value. And if she can just rest your other characters or rest your leader in certain scenarios, it makes it rough in this matchup. So I'll give you an example. If you have a Kuzan on board, right? You're gearing up for Kuzan because you know Bonnie's going to play down either like a Eustace Kid, a Hody Jones, or like any big body, a Zoro, and you want to be able to pop it. Well, ideally, you swing in with Kuzan first, right? Then you get the -4 cost on whatever target you choose. In that scenario, she just rests your leader, therefore you can't use your leader shenanigans to play down an Absalon or something of that nature to pop that card. It's just, it feels a little weird, but in any other matchup, obviously, you know, you can get that off no problem because you don't have to worry about Bonnie resting the leader. Now, when it comes to decks such as your Enel matchups and everything else from that regard, Enel seems a little bit easier to deal with than Bonnie. I'd much rather play against an Enel over Bonnie any day as Moria, because this is one of those decks where you don't necessarily have to attack unless you're getting value. And generally, you're playing down Pironas more so than you are playing down Absalons, because Enel doesn't really play down a lot of bodies on board other than things like Gedetsu and then the big body drops. So you normally have to have something like an Ice Age or a Hina ready to go to pop those cards. So getting the Pironas in the early game, you get a damage in sometimes, and or you allow your opponent to also discard a card. And Enel generally has a big hand. So going into turns like that, where you can just spam Peronas from the discard pile with your leader ability, is pretty strong in that match, let alone we have access to Isho. But there are going to be moments where you just stick down Isho and Enel just pops it immediately. That's fine. It's okay. Because we got cards from hand, and if they don't have it, we get the -3 everything and kill them, a little bit easier with Ice Age and some of your other combos. But other than those two matchups, the other hardest matchup that I have right now with Moria is into RP Law. And we're talking about like a very, very strong or skilled RP Law player, or one that just sees curve. Because when it comes to this deck, it has no consistency whatsoever. It has no searches. It's, I hope I draw my Gordons, I hope I draw my removals, I hope I draw my Reijus. If that's the case, Reiju will essentially draw you into other key pieces, like your kids and your queens and more counter in hand. This is a deck that's, I feel it's kind of high rolly almost, but you have to see the right pieces to do well with it. And into a matchup with Moria, it doesn't take Law much to just remove a body on board. Because all of our stuff that we play off our leader ability is, 5,000 power or less. So just seeing a 1 Gordon or Raise Max just bottom decks anything in the game that we generally would play outside of getting into the late game. And into the late game, cards like Isho don't really matter in this matchup because Law doesn't normally have a lot of cards in hand. He's cheating out a lot of bodies for free. So we do have access to Gecko Moria, of course. But most of the time, some of our plays with Moria in this matchup will fall into the line of playing down Rebecca, right? Rebecca will playing down Rebecca, then you would do something like a Helmeppo to minus Dawn on something. And then you will take Brook from trash with Rebecca to pop that card. And then Law just bottom decks Rebecca the next turn. So, outside of those two matchups, those are probably my hardest matchups with Moria overall. Bonnie, RP Law. Everything else feels not necessarily easy, but it feels better, more consistent, right? And of course, we got to talk about Rob Lucci matchup. This isn't really one to get into. This is really just a battle of who has or sees more Gecko Morias and who sees more Sabos. That's really how it goes down. There's nothing else really to it, let's be honest. You're minusing cards on both sides of the boards, or popping bodies. Whoever sees Sabo on curve or has more Sabos generally wins up that matchup. And that's just how it goes. It is what it is. So today I tried to play against a lot of variations of decks. I tried to avoid Rob Lucci's because no one really wants to see these two play against each other. It just is what it is. This is a very boring matchup to watch. So I tried to avoid that, especially for you guys and the content here on the channel. But other than that, we're going to dive into a bunch of games today. I do hope you guys can enjoy this. Let me know what you guys think about the deck list here. Leave your thoughts and opinions in the comments below. And if you have something similar to this, you think I should try a different ratio of certain cards, let me know. Because I feel like this deck has a little bit more flexibility than Rob Lucci, but at the same time, both decks have access to the same cards, so they can be built similar. In any case, let's dive into a bunch of games today. See you guys in a split second. Let's go. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. We're going to dive into a bunch of games today. Come at you guys with Gecko Moria playing into OP08 leader, as in Marco. Now, I tried my very best to get in, hopefully, as many games as we can today with OP07. I can just put the text in the chat and be like, yo, OP07 only. It doesn't mean everyone's going to abide by those rules or follow that. It is what it is. But I haven't really seen all too much of Marco, at least people playing this deck, so I figure, why not? Let's try this one out. Normally I would just leave and go into another match, but this could be fun. It could be interesting. I don't know. I'm not sure what he's going to be cooking up here, but I know they do play with a bunch of removal, like a bunch of removal combo pieces, which is kind of nice. So if we can just spam Peronas at the very least and hopefully get this man to get rid of key pieces in hand, that's probably how I'm going to go about this matchup overall. Also, if you don't know, this is the second leader in the game right now who has the color combination of red and blue. So I do hope that Marco continues to get support down the line, whether it's Whitebeard Pirates or what have you. because the only thing else we have right now is Vivi. So this is a very, very fun deck, and I do plan on building this in OP08, so I'm pretty excited. Just myself, you know. Alright, so we have some pretty terrible cards in trash right now. We got like 3 hogbacks and 1 in hand, which is absolutely awful sometimes. But what are you gonna do? It's better than seeing all Navy, I guess, but still. At least with the Navy, it kind of thins out the deck a little bit, vice versa, so. We'll go 5 here. We'll take this hit. We'll get rid of Absalon, it's fine. We have plenty more of those. Okay, so we have all cost reduction in hand. We have another Absalon that we can use to pop the ace here, which is nice. If we play down the Hina, we can still do the leader effect. So we'll go ahead and -4 here, and we can bring back Absalon to pop the ace and give him 6k to lead here, which is kind of nice. See that though? My trash is not the greatest. We had 3 hogbacks and now 2 more Absalons in trash right now. It's kind of wild. I guess it really doesn't matter what we send back. Let's get rid of this. And then we'll go 5 to lead with Perona as well. I'm just surprised though. Marco already has 3 cards in hand. Oh wow. Okay, cool. So we had 2 bad manners kick horses. And remember, he chose to keep that hand, so I'm not sure, but it is what it is. There's a Rayleigh as well. Fire Fist. Not bad. So there goes our Hina. That kind of sucks. Marco, 1 card in hand. Gets rid of my Sindri. I would think he'd go 7 into Perona, but I could be wrong. Oh, okay. Going lead. That's fine. I don't know why he didn't try to clear Perona there, but alright, we'll take it. I think that would have been the best opportunity to do so, considering he has 1 card in hand. We can't actually make him discard or give a -3 to anything. But we are going to try to kill this Marco. Normally this would be something that's very difficult to do for a black deck, considering we aren't playing Sakazuki, so we don't have access to bottom decking. But in this scenario, he just has 1 card in hand, and what are the odds of it being an event? If it is, we can just do it again by attacking into the Marco. This will make it a 2, and we know we have a ridiculous amount of Absalons in trash here, which doesn't happen often, by the way. Let's go 7 lead. Let's do the ability. We can get rid of the brand new. I generally opt to throw this guy away most of the time, but we'll get rid of Hogback here, just in case we can draw into another Ice Age later, because he is getting closer to the Newgate turn. Come on, no event, please. Just let it go. Oh, okay. He had another Fire Fist. Alright. I guess it's better for the Marco than for him to use Fire Fist and pop my whole board. So that's good. 7 there. Nice. Let's go 6 here. And then we'll go 6 again with Perona. There should be no question. He should just let that go. Yep, too late. I mean, I guess Marco does block 2 hits, technically, but still. Because in both scenarios, he lost all cards in hand. Sanji's Pilaf. Another Marco. Nice. We'll guard out. I think we need him here to actually go for game, just in case he gets like a Fire Fist or a Jet Pistol off life or something. Can we get there? And we know he does run with the 0 cost events. We've only seen 2, just in case, right? Otama. Weird. Maybe he didn't notice we were 7k. Ooh. And GG. Well played, buddy. Dragon. Well, this be one of those matches where I actually wanted to avoid, but not much you can do. Sindri also not giving me anything relevant, as usual. Let's go and get down Perona here. I feel like in this matchup, your biggest key pieces to play on board are going to be Perona. Just because we can get rid of some keep cards in Law's hand, be it like a Gordon or like a Kid and Killer, something that has value to him, which is most of the cards in the deck. It is a combo-oriented deck, so just to be able to rip something out is pretty nice. Chopper, interesting. I have seen some Law decks start to run that card. I don't know how I feel about it. It's interesting, but I think it's more so you can play the Porsche, because you do have a lot of 4-cost units in this deck that are purple that you can cheat out with that card, which is kind of nice. Plays on a Law here. Weird. So he's gonna bottom deck this. I mean, we're already on turn 2 and you're going down to 1 Don in hand, or 1 Don on field is crazy to me. I mean, Sanji is a big body, so that's kind of nice, but still, that's fine. Do the Suru. So we go up to 5 Don here. So we cannot kill the Sanji just yet. We have nothing in trash that's relevant with our leader ability. Thank you, Sindri. We do get another Perona, which is nice. See, look, brand new putting in more work. That's crazy. Let's go 6 lead. Let's pull back a Perona again. We'll have Suru in trash for later. Another Chopper. So this tells me his hand is pretty bad. 3 Choppers in hand, and he chose to keep this one. Crazy. At least I think he chose to keep it, I don't remember. Just having 3 Choppers in the hand in the early game here, without having the removal. 2 Sanjis, 3 Choppers. I'm pretty sure this will be a W, depending on how we play it. As long as he doesn't see a bunch of Reijus that draw a lot of cards, we might be okay. Unfortunately, we have to give him that 2k, because I can't really go down to 2 life this early in the game when Kid and Killer is still a threat. Speaking of which. Okay, Shiraya. Well, that's a board state. Can we clear more than 2 this turn? Sokka cannot kill the Sanji, unfortunately. So how do we do this? We got 2 Surus in trash. And Helmeppo already. So brand new is probably going to whiff, if I had to guess. Ice Aging this Sanji, we could pop it with the Sakazuki. Then go... No. Nah, I feel like that's the wrong move. That's the wrong move. You got 2 cards in hand. Let's go this first. Let's go 7k into the Law. No, let's go 8k into the Sanji. Let's do that instead. You could block this with Shiraya. Okay. Alright. We'll go 6 here, because we have to use the other 2 with our leader ability. Could trash this, pull this back, pop the Sanji. That'll do. You should counter this. Alright. Cool. We'll pass turn. Turn 4, 2 Dawn. And I think this goes back to what I was saying earlier. Law is one of those... It's a high rolly deck. If you don't see the pieces, you just get cooked. But also, each deck is different, because it can be built numerous different ways. So seeing the Foxy Pirates here, goes to show me that he probably doesn't have a lot of the other pieces that most of the main meta decks do. It's a little bit harder to fit the Choppers and the Porsches in this deck. That's 8 cards that they have to consider and take out other key pieces in the deck to make it consistent. So, I'm not saying that it's a bad deck by any means necessary. It's still Law. It's just... It's a lot harder to see the pieces you need when you want to see those pieces for removal. I guess we just get Subaru back for now. We can pull it back later if need be, just to have the, with Gecko Moria. But now, with Rebecca, we can pull this out with the Brook and kill that for free. Then we have 3 attacks this turn. Which is nice. Queen, that's good. We don't have to worry about that anymore. Unless he draws another one that has one in hand. Oh wow, man. You're telling me you had these pieces all along, Well, what are you gonna do? What triggers do these guys normally run? I guess Rad Beam's an option, but it really doesn't help you in this scenario. Fire Fist, maybe? Gamma Knife too, but Gamma Knife kind of gives you a Dawn. So it's a Fire Fist, so Brook goes bye-bye. Pretty good. We haven't seen any ramping cards come from Law this game either, so I think it's safe to say that we have this one. So he's going to remove Perona again. Yep. So play down Kid and Killer? Nope, another Sanji. In hindsight, I probably should just block with Rebecca, because that'll just give him an option to remove next turn, but I'm pretty sure he doesn't make it that far here. We don't have any cost reduction for the Sanji, though. Sakazuki isn't hitting him. Let's go 5 lead first, see what he wants to do. Actually, in hindsight, I probably should have just went 8k with Rebecca, just to remove the Sanji or try to do a damage there. But just in case, right? He could draw into a Kid and Killer off trigger here, and then kill me the following turn. Because our hand is not the greatest. I mean, now it's a little better. We do have a little bit of counter here. Just not enough to survive. We just go 7. We can get another body on board. Doesn't really help us out too much, but yeah, I think I'm overthinking this play. Let's put that back and grab another Moria. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. We're going to dive into another game. Come at you guys again with Gecko Moria, playing into Zoro and Sanji, which is one of those decks in which we don't see that often. You know, more so, it's a rogue build, you know, that's fine. But it can still cook up some very, very spicy variations here. And I do believe once we get these new structure decks and stuff, they'll probably get a lot more key pieces that's going to make this deck a little bit more prevalent. I wouldn't say meta-defining, but still a rogue deck, but it is what it is. Let's dive into this matchup, see what we can cook up. As per usual, sometimes, Sindri just, when she hits, it never happens to you outside of sim games. And local play, I feel like I never put 3 Morias in trash off one Sindri. It just doesn't happen, but I don't know. Maybe just very, very bad luck. In any case, this is a very, very difficult leader to deal with, especially considering he can constantly get bodies on board and restand them, and then swing in on me. Because we don't run with a lot of 2k counters, and the ones that we do run, we would kind of want to use them with Perona, you know? I'm starting to feel like brand new is, the more I use him and Moria, the more I use this card, I feel like it's not as great as Inupe. I'm still on the fence about it. So if you guys are out there playing Moria, playing Lucci, or what have you, or I guess it would be more so a Moria thing, obviously, but, or Perona, what is your take on brand new versus Inupe? Like, do you guys feel one is better than the other? Do you always take brand new just because it has access to Ice Age? Or why do you guys generally run brand new in your deck over Inupe? That's just, put that question down in the comments. I'll probably remember it after this video and then post it down there myself. But if not, you know, hopefully you guys are listening and can answer it, and then therefore we can spark some conversation, because that'd be pretty nice. Because I am very much not a fan of brand new. I feel like most of the time I'm only using him literally just to find an Ice Age if I haven't already seen them, you know? And this is also the one moment where I get puddinged, and pudding doesn't give me a Gecko Moria. Down to 2 life already. I haven't seen too many builds run Sengoku, so it's just kind of interesting. Considering he has the Law 2K, I'm also assuming he has Jinbei here as well. 4, 5, 6. So next turn we have Moria for curve, which we could play out Perona from trash, and then make him discard a card, because we aren't really in any danger when it comes to what he has on board right now. 7 Dawn active. It's possible that he plays Hody Jones in this deck too, so I have to be a little bit mindful of that. Oh, okay. Interesting. I feel like most of the time I play against this leader, they're a bit more aggressive than defensive. So the C Gravity Blade is not something I expected. I guess we'll take brand new here. Okay, alright, we'll dive into another one. Yo, this would happen to me. In the mirror, I would not draw Sindri. Come on, brand new. Give me something decent here. Great. Wonderful. We'll take the 2K, I guess. But like I was saying beforehand, man, I feel like with brand new, a new page is so much better. I'll probably have to experiment that a little bit more here in this deck. But currently, I feel like brand new is not really doing all too much other than drawing me like an Ice Age occasionally. The man's got his Sindri, he's got Perona already from that, I got Absalon and Trash. He's cooking already. If he takes this hit, we could opt to play Perona, but that'll just give him more fuel for the Trash over there. If Kuzan sticks on board, we have removal for everything that he wants to play down. Okay, never mind, I lied. There goes Kuzan. He plays Absalon, pops that. So he throws away Rebecca to play the Absalon from Trash, and then he puts an Isho and Perona to the bottom of the deck. I'm not sure if that was his only, you know, his best option there. I think I would have left Perona in Trash, but each their own. How do we go about this? Because we have 6 cards in hand. He goes up to 7 Dawn next turn, so I don't have to worry about any big threats just yet. But if we give him back the Perona, he just plays it next turn and makes us discard a card. So perhaps we should just go 7k lead. Our Absalon can't really do all too much besides popping the Helmeppo. So let's go 7k here, not use the ability. And then we'll play a, what do you call it? Perona on board to discard a card. Okay, so we get Hina and Trash. Which again, it helps him out. You know what I mean? So I guess either way, there wasn't much else that we can done there on that scenario. Because if we play down Absalon, we just put Helmeppo and Trash, fuel that up for Gecko Moria the following turn. 5 lead. I can opt to take some hits here. Just not too many. Sindri. Nice. Where were you at earlier? Still 7 Dawn though. He might have a Sakazuki. It's a possibility. He's contemplating on what to play here. Or he could go 7 with Moria and then drop Sabo here. Or go Sabo 5 and then 5 on Helmeppo. Yep, cool. We can't take all these hits though. Maybe we can take this one and hope we get a 2k? That is not a 2k. So Sabo should come down here. Yep. So he's worried about the Moria turn. But joke's on him, we don't really have any removal here. Let's get rid of the Sindri. Playing down Isho here doesn't give us any value or any viability. And speaking of Moria, we actually get to draw into him here, which is nice. But I think playing the Sabo down just to be ready for the Moria was probably the better play on his part. So, you know, that was well played. You know, good job on that. Unfortunately, we didn't have the Moria. We just got lucky. We actually got to draw into it. I just don't know if this is going to be the correct play to play this down or not. Let's go 3 into this. We'll go 5 into either Perona or the Absalon here with our Perona. And then he'll block with Sabo or give us a card from hand. Yep. Yeah, so he knows that we're going to play down Gecko. Just let it go. Come on. Let it go. Darn. Alright. We tried. So if we Gecko, We can't kill anything, but we can get back Rebecca from trash. In which we don't have any. That's in my hand. Way to go, me. I guess we could take Who's On here and then Brand New. It's not really doing all too much, but it's our best bet. So we get this and another Rebecca. Okay. Alright. I feel like his curve out was so much better than mine. But at the end of the day, we do have quite a bit of cards in hand. So if he does have Isho here, this would suck. Okay, 7 lead. Oh, he did have Isho. Well, I don't know how I feel about that play, actually. I think I might have just played Isho down. Because he's not in any danger of losing the game. I think playing Isho would probably have been the correct play, maybe. Unless he was afraid of just getting Ice Age, which that is something that we could do. But it brings him down to a 3. So, we'd have to swing with Kuzan, and then Ice Age, and then pop back an Absalon. So perhaps doing it this way was better. I don't know. Let's get rid of that. Speaking of Ice Age. 4 down, left to play around with. You play Rebecca here. Rebecca at least will protect one of his units on board. No, go 6 lead. Okay. Oof. I think we have to counter out here. Because then he'll just go 9k with Sabo, so there's no way he wouldn't. Don't do it. Just let me go. Don't attack. Quite a bit of attacks next turn. We'll go up to 6. He's got 3 cards in hand. That's fine. I think we can win here. Maybe. It's a long shot. Unless those are 2k counters. And we played like an uphill battle this game. He had a much better board and curve than we did. And Sindri didn't help us at all this game, so. As much crap as I talk about Brand New really just helped us fuel trash this game. So we got Rebecca out of hand, 2 cards left. So that means we can go 7k with the other Brand New. This should be a damage. Nice, okay. So how do we do this here? I think we have to go 7 with leader. Go 7 with lead, and then we'll go 9 with Gecko Moria. If this hits, we'll win game. Okay, cool. We got there. 100%. This is a damage. Let's go, boys. 5. That's a good sign. That's a good sign. We should have it then. If you give us the 2k to counter the 5. Oh boy. Nice. That was rough, man. I think you guys know how I feel about this leader, just in general. I mean, as much flack as I give Foxy, I don't feel like he's going to be relevant, but who's to say? Getting down a 7-drop Foxy, multiple of them on the board at a single time, is pretty scary to deal with. So, put some respect on his name, alright? Because at the end of the day, this leader is a rogue deck, but he does have a lot of scary synergies and scenarios that he can build up inside a deck. It's not just going to be Foxy Pirates. He has access to the 7-drop when it comes to Foxy. He has access to Magellan. Cards of that nature can actually do really, really well here in this list. 6 lead. But, thankfully, considering we are playing a black deck, as long as we keep his board under 3, he can't activate his leader ability. So, most of the cards that he does play down early game are pretty cheap, right? Let's be fair. So we have ways to pop them for free. with Gecko Moria. Like, we can go 6 here, we can discard Absalon to play it back on board to pop the chopper. Yeah, we got plenty of Absalons in trash. Doesn't really matter too much here. I guess we'll just do this and that. We'll pop this. So we go 6 and 7k with Perona here. So he ramps a Dawn. Okay. Come on, damage. Nice. 8 cards in hand. He can already play Foxy. Yep, there it is. This card is so scary, by the way. 5k, we'll counter out. We do have the removal for it, which is nice. Because we have plenty of Absalons in trash. We have Ice Age in hand. Counter out here as well. Okay, so here's a Sabo. First things first. Now we can go... So this dies, right? We could go 7k into the Porsche. Just get down Absalon to pop the Foxy and pass turn. That's something that we could do. But let's go lead. So get rid of the Sabo. Ice Age, and this will work. It's 1, 2k, and erase you. Okay. Let's go 5 here. Oh, wow. Okay. Can you do it again, though? I think we're sitting pretty good, boys. Okay, never mind. You got it. Suru. I don't think we have enough reduction and popping power this turn. We have a Suru, we have no Helmeppo here. Yeah, we would need Helmeppo in this situation, right? That's 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so we would play Gecko Moria, get back to Rebecca, and get back a Helmeppo and Suru. And she would play down Brook from trash. Or from hand, or what have you. I think that's how we would get rid of it. Or no, math's not mathing, never mind. We definitely don't have enough here. Because Brook only brings him down to a 1. He had to be a 0 cost to get rid of it. So, I guess he's safe this turn. But having a blocker is not necessarily a bad thing. Or do we get the Kuzan instead? Kuzan draws us a card. Next turn we can use him to remove the Foxy. Because that'll be guaranteed, right? Because we have the Absalon in trash. If not, we have to risk it on getting an Ice Age. I guess we just take Hina. Just in case. Go 6 here. We won't attack with anything else because we can't, of course. If this man has another one, we're probably cooked. Oh, oof. That's good. That's good. Okay, so now he can actually freeze our leader, though. Because he has 3 bodies on board here. I think this is one of the scarier things about this deck. Once they get bodies on board and you don't have removal to remove them, that freeze is just so strong. Because he can keep you locked down permanently. As long as he has 3 bodies on board. I think he would need a blocker on board. So a chopper, and then maybe Dawn for events here. You got it, buddy. Oh, nice. Actually, you know what? Let's use this, and we'll pop... We'll get rid of Pickles. I know this guy has an ability where it allows you just to get a free Dawn every turn, but Pickles is a 4K, so he is able to swing. And this way, we at least won't be frozen next turn. Alright, so 4 Dawn's active. Considering he didn't play a blocker down, I'm going to assume he has events in hand. Most of the purple events that he's going to be playing in this deck are going to rest my units, not necessarily pop them. So, Let's go 8K lead here. -4 this. Oh, yeah, he does have Beam Sword. Okay, goes up to 7. Rest Gecko Moria. Oh wow, okay. Interesting. I mean, we could go all out here. But just to be safe, he's got 2 Dawn open. He might just be floating in another event here. So let's play Sabo down. We can trash both Hinas here. And then go 5. What do you do? Nothing, okay. Maybe we should have went for game. If he has... Oh. Not what I expected. But thankfully we played down the Sabo. Or we had the Sabo in this scenario. That's pretty good. And Gina. Alright. So he does have access to his leader ability again. Yep. So those two are frozen. And this is one of the hardest things about this matchup. It's kind of similar to Bonnie, where she can rest the leader, and then I can't use my leader ability. This way, Foxy freezes me, and I don't even get a chance to restand to use the ability, period. So, he's just going to clear board, isn't he? Nope. Okay, 10k. And good game, buddy. At least this should be a good game. Alright. Alright, ladies and gentlemen. We'll probably play one more game after this one, then we'll call it a day. And then I will post a new poll up on the channel, and you guys can, pick and choose what deck list you guys want to see next. And I'll do the winner of that deck list, or the winner of that poll, and I'll also do the runner-up as well. I'll keep it a little spicy here and there. But, in any case, if you guys are interested in seeing a Blurple Crocodile, I might be looking to dive into that here as well in OP07. Maybe. Haven't decided fully yet, but maybe. It might be something I might be interested in, because he did get a lot of new cards in EB01, which we did cover here on the channel. Now that we are in OP07, I want to see if he can still hang out with a bunch of the other decks that are currently in the format. I think Rob Lucci would give this deck a very hard time, just considering the fact that Miss Wednesday wants to be on board and she wants to block. Going into decks like Gecko Moria here, or Rob Lucci, I think really hurts what this deck wants to do. But we'll see. Maybe. I may dive into this. Let's go ahead and pop Mr. 2. Get 7k lead in, and we'll go 5k with Verona as well. Never mind. I lied. That Onami was pretty good. I forgot he got to organize his life, but I didn't really think that he had an Onami in life. I don't know. Just kind of didn't think about it. I saw Sunday. We're at 7 here. I want to save the Ice Age for a bigger threat. Let's go 7 lead. We'll get rid of this, get another Perona on board. And just like the Enel matchups, I feel like Perona is just really strong into yellow decks. I don't know what it is about it. I just feel like yellow really wants to have cards in hand most of the time, considering they don't get to draw a lot, other than if you are playing Enel. But forcing Enel to discard cards, I feel like it really hurts that leader. Already down to no life. So he's at 8 Dawn here. Goes up to 10, of course. I think his options are slim. It's either play down Ace or Yamato, or he doesn't survive. Or he uses No Akamawe, or New Akamawe, yep, to heal off the Kikanojo here. It's quite a bit of attacks. Ace, 3 Dawn open. So there's a possibility he has that in hand. So we have to play around that. Miss Wednesday. We We can actually remove the Miss Wednesday this turn. Thanks to Gecko Moria being Gecko Moria. Let's get this on board. We have access to the Rebecca. And then we have access to brand new here, which allows us just to draw, you know, another card. So we might as well do it that way. Then we can take the Brook with the Rebecca effect and pop it like that as well. I think that's just the best way to do it. Just in case brand new can draw me another 2K counter or an Ice Age. Never mind brand new. And we'll get Brook down. Brook will pop the Miss Wednesday, and we should be able to go for game unless he has counter for this turn. No shot. Let's go, buddy. That was close, man. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, this will be the last game for the day when it comes to Gecko Moria. I will be diving back into this leader. I do have some other builds I want to try out with this deck right now in OP07. I want to try using Tempest Kick and seeing how I feel about it, along with Ice Age, a little bit more, you know, cost reduction, and seeing how it interacts and whether or not it's going to be consistent. But in any case, we are going to be diving into another game here, playing against Dragon, and I'm a little spooked. Just because this man can go a lot wider on board and is faster than I can. So this is going to be a lot of attacks probably I'm going to have to deal with this game. It all comes down to whether or not I can stabilize to actually get the W. Because our hand is already looking terrible. We didn't see Sindri early game. We saw another brand new as usual. Gets down another body on board for free with Ivan. Leader ability for Dragon is so good. It allows him to take Dawn off of a unit that's already used the Dawn or utilized it by attacking or whatever, and put it onto another character, which is pretty cool. So we do get to kill the Luffy. Again, double Sindris and trash off the brand new is not doing so good. Let's go 6. Okay. Get Kuzan down. Pass it up. We do get another Sindri though, so that's nice. She can redeem herself next turn. I would say don't hit anything, but I feel like this deck is going to be more so Revolutionary Army than anything else. Yep, Karasu. Turn 3, 4 bodies on board. Where is the dragon? I think I just saw it. Sorry guys. I just wanted to verify. I think he's an 8 cost, right? 100% 8 cost. There he is. Yeah, okay. That's fine. We can't take all of these hits. It just, unfortunately, I really needed that Sindri there. But I can't go down to 2 life so early. Because this deck can play Kidding Killer. 4, 5. He goes to... No, he's at 6 Dawn, so he goes 8 Dawn next turn, 4 Dragon. Let's clear some of these units on board. Or at least try to. Hmm. 5 in hand. This might be a little risky. When I say a little, it's going to be a lot risky. Nothing in trash that's relevant here. For sure, this is going to be an uphill battle. We'll go 7 here. Or should we just go 8 just in case? Because 5 Dawn to the left, we can put that on Rebecca if need be. Let's go 7 here first. Come on, just let it go. Of course. Alright. I think I want to have 4 Dawn open for Dragon. Well, -4 on Karasu, I guess. Okay. We can't pop anything. So we'll get Rebecca back on board. She can't draw anything from trash here either, so that does suck. We'll pass it up. So this would be the dragon turn. Maybe. He's not really in any danger to play it down right now. He's still at 4 life. So there goes Rebecca. Oh my goodness, man. Bro, back to a full board on turn 4. Just nuts. So Kuzan's gone. No, actually we can counter out. It's fine. We'll counter out here. I'd imagine he wouldn't swing with Karasu. Nice. 1 Don open. Maybe that's for a Rad Beam. Or a guard point. Because otherwise I would think he would just go 7k with the Ivan just to clear the Kuzan in that scenario. Or try to. So we have to play Gecko here on curve. We get back Rebecca. And nothing else that's relevant. Take Sabo back from trash. We can play Hina down just to have a body on board. Doesn't really do all too much. We just get the cost reduction, but it is another body that can just go attacking into, you know, whatever he decides to attack next turn with. I think we have to play it. Because she's going to eat up an attack anyway. At least I hope so. So here comes Dragon, 7k to 4. We'll take this hit as well. We need to use Rebecca and block any of his characters and or leader other than Morley here. We'll guard out. Considering Morley can go through Rebecca, she's kind of irrelevant in that scenario. So the ones that we can guard out, we will guard out here. Because Dragon can take 2 Rested Dawn and give it to Morley. We'll guard. And if we can stabilize and clear this board, I think we can win the game. Maybe. Maybe. Because we've got 4 attacks this turn, with another Rebecca in hand, so we can actually do the Rebecca Sabo play here. Which is nice, right? It all depends on what he does with these 2 cards that he has. It's 1 down. This might be a little risky, but I want to get down the Sabo and Rebecca combo, just in case. Well, we need to clear the Moria here. The Morley. Let's go 5 into this first. Okay, no counter. That's a good sign. Let's go 5 minus 4. Okay, so he let both of them go. So perhaps he doesn't have any counter in hand here. No, we'll save this one, hold on. Let's go 6 to Ivan. No leader effect. No counter in hand, boys. Unless he saved it for Dragon. Nice. Okay. So we're chilling. So we'll get down Rebecca. Rebecca can just get back a 1k counter. It doesn't really matter in this scenario. Yeah, that's fine. I mean, Hogback's better than the other one, right? So we'll play nothing. We'll play Sabo here and place the Sindri. And we'll discard the Kuzan and the Sakazuki. And now I think we're chilling. He can't pop anything. Morley can't win a game here. He can play down Dragon, but that's it. And we have the counters for that, or blockers for that. If we take it slow from this point on, we might be able to win. Because Rebecca can get back to Sabo if we have to block with it and just do the effect again next turn. And we have at least a couple swings guaranteed. Wow. Sweet. Good game. Dude, that was... oof. I mean, he had a bunch of 1Ks in there. I think we definitely had that game. That's wild. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome into the end of the video where we talk about the deck list and all that sort of thing. Changes and stuff that I want to be making to Moria, in which there's quite a bit. due to the fact that how flexible this leader can be. This deck can be built in a couple different ways. I don't want to say numerous, this isn't Yamato, but it can be built in a lot of different ways here, because we have access to a lot of different removal pieces, whether it's Isho in the late game or Sabo, which is really, really good. I haven't decided which 8-drop I like more. I preferably like the Sabo, but the Isho does really well into decks like Bonnie and Enel. Not saying Sabo doesn't. Sabo will do a little bit better for you into Bonnie matchup, whereas this guy does better into the Enel matchup, considering, you know, a lot of cards in hand. The same thing with Bonnie. But Enel doesn't play with a lot of bodies on board, other than big drops. So Sabo loses out, potentially. The other one would be Stussy, right? I think this card is pretty strong too, but I haven't really experimented all too much inside of Gecko Moria with this. I did use this card frequently in Perona, which I thought was really good. Just in this deck list particularly, I think Isho and Sabo are a little bit better. But I'm opting to drop Isho and add in Sabos and play test around with that as well. Now, one of the other things here, I'm thinking about kicking out Kuzan. As much as I see him, even though he is only 2 of in the deck, I see him pretty much every game. I'm thinking about taking him out. And I know we put out a build here with no Lucci, no problem, right? But I feel like Lucci is a little bit better than Kuzan. Just because this guy has access to popping units, whereas Kuzan has to survive a turn to be able to do that. And in this metagame where you're playing into Gecko Moria decks, you're playing into Perona decks, you're playing into Rob Lucci's, you gotta have that on-play effect to get value, because next turn, that Kuzan might not make it. But in certain matchups, like Bonnie, for example, this can be pretty good, but it can also hurt your leader quite a bit. So I don't want to get into, what's the word, a bad mechanics, I guess you would say. Whereas, you're so used to swinging with Kuzan first, right, to get -4 on something. But in the Bonnie matchup, like I mentioned before, you can't swing with Kuzan and then swing with Gecko Moria to use your ability, because she'll rest your leader after the Kuzan swing. But in every other matchup, this is never going to stick on board. And that's just the way I feel. So I do feel like Rob Lucci is a little bit better in that regard. Correct me if I'm wrong. Let me know your thoughts and opinions on that. I just feel like this is a really good card into every matchup other than black decks, blue, and Bonnie. Because most blue decks will just bottom deck this on turn 7, or on 7 dawn turn. You know what I'm talking about. But if you can get this in the early game against blue, this is pretty strong. Other than those decks, I don't know, Kuzan. I'm not feeling you, buddy. So I may go back into Rob Lucci here for that reason. I may. Now, other than that, though, I do very much enjoy this list the way it is. But I also want to play around with Tempest Kick. So I will have another deck coming to the channel here soon with Gecko Moria with Tempest Kick once I play around with build testing and see how I feel about it. I don't often like to release builds that I play around with that I don't feel comfortable. You know what I mean? But in this scenario, I can't tell you that you guys should run Kuzan in this metagame. You know, with certain decks that are running around. This is a flex spot for me. So this is why I'm more tempted to take him out and try other cards here in this position. I think everything else here is really, really good. It's really solid. My other gripe with Gecko Moria here in this list would be brand new. Most of the time with brand new, I'm playing this to get a 2k counter, which is via Suru, or an Ice Age. He's really good in that regard. For some reason, I've been spoiled with Inupe, and I think it's because I play a lot of Perona. And he has the ability to on-play and on-KO to draw 2 and discard 2, so he has a way of cycling multiple times for just 2 Dawn, which is nice. But again, Brand New does have his moments where he shines quite a bit. I think it's a toss-up for me personally. So let me know what you guys are interested in when it comes to Inupe over Brand New. I think it's just, I'm spoiled when it comes to Perona, and I think this is really, really good, considering both these cards can be played in her as well. But other than that, I do think this deck list is quite solid, and I'm looking to explore Moria and probably play this deck for a little bit longer in OP07 until we get OP08, and then your boy's moving, man. I'm finally gonna dive back into Yamato with the new stuff that she's gonna be getting. With the new stuff that Yamato is gonna be getting here with the Seraphine, which are gonna be amazing, man. To be able to play with S-Snake and all that sort of thing is gonna be a lot of fun. This card is gonna be pretty disgusting in all yellow decks, but that's in the foreseeable future. But for the time being, I think I'm gonna be cooking up some more decks when it comes to Moria here. And once we get into OP08, we're going to be seeing a lot of new decks that are coming up on the channel, and older decks that are coming up as well, such as Ace and Rebecca. Those are two decks I'm very most excited to play in OP08. But for the time being, Moria is probably going to hold a spot for my go-to decks at locals. So there's going to be some ups and downs with this leader. A lot of different variations that I'm going to try to come up with this deck. Whereas the very first Gecko Moria deck that I put out on the channel, I was utilizing Sakazuki. I always felt like this card was really, really good. And this is before Sakazuki was thought about in this deck. I always felt this card was really strong in Moria just because it fills up your trash. The other card that you can use in place of Sakazuki would be the Brook, which I do see a lot of Lucci players opting to run, considering the fact the mirror into other Rob Lucci's or into Gecko Morias themselves, because this allows you to get rid of the problematic cards such as Sabo. And thankfully we didn't see any black-yellow Luffy players the past couple days, but this also helps you in that matchup as well, whereas Sakazuki doesn't really do all too much because Luffy can get the cards back from trash. At least with this one, you can remove the Sabos and then at least do damage to Luffy when you're trying to go for game. But this is another opt-in or swap out for Sokka if you choose to. But overall, I had a lot of fun today. Hopefully you guys did enjoy this build setup. Let me know your thoughts and your opinions and leave your comments down below. And I will catch you guys in the very next one. Don't forget, hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hop in the Discord. Come tell me I suck. It is what it is. I will catch you guys in the very next video and or at locals. Stay safe out there. I'll see y'all later.